Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do top 5 welterweighters in the world. This is, if they all went up against each other, who do I think comes out on top? 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, starting at number 5 is the WBC welterweight champion, which might surprise you because that means that somebody on this list isn't a champion. But for me, Mario Barrios, although a champion, for me, it's unbelievable that he still is. If we look at his resume, there's not many notable names that he has beaten, and the notable names that he has faced, he has lost to or drawn to. His last 2 fights were 2 draws, one to a 48-year-old Manny Pacquiao, and one was to Abel Ramos. Go back a few more fights, and you're looking at a loss to Keith Thurman and a loss to Gervonta Davis. So for me, Mario Barrios sits at 5. The fact is, he is still a world champion, though. All right, number 4 is Brian Norman Jr., and although he lost to Devin Haney on the weekend, I still believe that he is in and around the conversation of beating the names on this list. I think there's an argument that he can get one over your Rolly Romeros, your Liam Parros, your Paddy Donovans, your Mario Barrioses, and all the names in and around the 4th, 5th position on the list. But Brian Norman Jr., he went on a very, very good run. He's only 25 years of age, 28 wins, became a world champion, and he lost to Devin Haney, who is a 3-division world champion and an undisputed world champion. Just because you lose doesn't mean you just drop out of the conversation completely. All right, number 3 is Rolly Romero, the WBA world champion. For me, not a lot of work done at welterweight yet, but he is a world champion. He did get a very good win over Ryan Garcia. I think he can fully cement his place in the top 3 with another good win. Who that comes against, I'm not sure. I don't like the inactivity at the moment, but the fact is Rolly Romero is a good world champion, and he beat a good fighter in Ryan Garcia. All right, number 2 is the IBF world champion, and that is Lewis Crocker. Although a controversial first fight against Paddy Donovan, in the second fight, gets one over him, beats him in my opinion. Some people thought Paddy Donovan did enough, but for me, Lewis Crocker did. I think this one is also a questionable one. I think they're all questionable because the depth is not really there in welterweight. But I've put him there because I believe he beats Mario Barrios. From what I saw, Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney, I think he beats him. The Rolly Romero one is a tight fight, but I've put him number 2, and I think he can fully cement that when he takes on the winner of Paddy Donovan versus Liam Parro. All right, number 1 is, of course, Devin Haney. That win on the weekend against Brian Norman Jr., shutting down all the haters and all the shit talkers. It was an unbelievable performance, a good knockdown, wins the belt, becomes a world champion in his 3rd division, and from what I've seen of him so far at welterweight and what we saw of him becoming undisputed world champion, there's enough there to say that Devin Haney will beat Lewis Crocker, Mario Barrios, Brian Norman Jr., and anybody else that puts the question in my opinion, at welterweight. He's by far the best fighter there. He's a tremendous boxer. So for me, Devin Haney is certified number 1.